going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. So just on the mid-market recap on today's trades, ended up trading a series of two different stocks. I do want to give a shout out to all the members that participated in today's trading. I was a little busy. I did have a meeting, but I was able to lock in a good amount of profit within the first 30 minutes of market open. It actually ended up being within the first 15 minutes, but then I ended up getting right back in a little bit earlier on the same stock. So I'm going to talk about pretty much what it is that we were looking for and how today, played out. So like we always start, we say good morning to one another. During pre-market movers, we shouted out all the different stocks that, we saw potential in, right? So right as the morning started, I told the group on the different stocks that I was watching. Tops, DRYS, and CERU are the ones that I was mainly watching, but I did hold Snapchat overnight. If you guys didn't see my entry point with Snapchat yesterday, I ended up getting in at 1977 and ended up selling today at 2023. There was a huge spike all the way up to nearly 250 and then came bleeding back down and is now showing signs of upward momentum as well. I was able to lock in a small 64 and 93 cent profit with my squeeze and holding overnight. I was going to be really busy, or I was really busy yesterday, so I wanted something that I saw potential in that was safe to hold overnight. And because I was able to identify the support at around 1970, I knew the buy point above the EMA around the 1977 mark was an indication that it was showing signs of upward momentum. The market opened on a good note and ended up hitting very high. So I could have held a little bit longer, but realistically, I saw that there was a resistance, if you guys see, around that 2020 point based on its previous history, as you guys can see right here. Although it did show signs of potential to 2040, I didn't want to get greedy, right? I just want to lock in the profits and that be it. So I followed with the trailing stop loss and then locked in the profits at 2023. But then with my trade with CERU, was one of my bigger trades, and it was actually during within the, I ended up selling within the first 15 minutes of the market open. So I ended up buying in because of the application Robinhood Gold. It gives me access to pre-market hours. So if you don't know what that means, it opens or allows me access to 30 minutes before the actual market opens. So it hit lows of $1.16. Ended up getting in at $1.18, and I ended up getting in at $1.18 because of the support that I saw that it was building. If you guys see, it wasn't going below 118, and then because one of our members, Brandon Yogomata, shouted out CRU with the same support that it previously had yesterday, around the 115 to 118, and then identified the resistance at 130 to 137 as it did the same thing yesterday. So let's get a little bit out. A little bit closer, and that's one of the great things about this group is you know how to trade, right? You educate yourself on how to trade, but then you use this group for exposure. And because of Brandon, because of what he was talking about, he identified the support around 115, as you can see right here, to 118. And this bounce is what led to this huge spike to 137, came back down and repeated that bounce multiple times. So realistically, what's my plan going into CERU? During pre-market hours, I knew this was a good buy point based on this previous possible potential entry. What's a good stop loss? Well, anything below 115 would be a stop loss because I don't want to ride it all the way down. So when going into CRU, what I was thinking was, okay, I'll buy in anything around the 115 to 118. I'm not going to be greedy, or I'm going to be patient, right? I'm going to wait for that upward momentum. And I knew there was a support at 118. So I saw the support, I bought in at 118, and then it went below, but then it went above. So my stop loss didn't trigger at 114.9, and then it showing signs of upward momentum. Realistically, although it did hit highs of about 133, nearly 135, I knew there was a resistance at 130, and that's the most common point that it touched throughout the entire day of market open yesterday. And to be realistic, I didn't want to get greedy and shoot for 133, 134 and end up not getting filled. So I followed with a trailing stop loss until 125, and then once it started rising, I ended up selling at 130. And the reason why was, again, just to lock in profits. With that trade alone, I was able to lock in $300 worth of profit, and then I am back in it because of the support that it's built at 121. I'm currently trading CERU. My current buy point is at average of 122. And my stop loss is anything below the 118 mark. And what I mean by that is if it continues to drop, I'll cut my losses anything below 118, and then if it ends up bouncing at 115, then I'll decide if I see the potential to buy back in. But overall, I've been up $364, and again, this is within the first couple of minutes of the market opening, and I only trading with a $3,000 risk account. So I tend to, see on average 5 to 7.5% return, and today just shows just that. I'm seeing a little bit over 10% return with my initial investment, and I'm really happy. I exceeded my daily goal of $250 worth of profit, and I'm glad that a lot of members were able to jump into CERU and able to lock in their own profit. So that's pretty much it. JNUG and NUGT have been big market movers today, just because the gold industry is showing good signs. So obviously these are going up. JDST being an opposite type of commodity that ends up going down when gold prices rise. But that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys found today's recap helpful. If you guys have any questions, you guys know how to reach out to me. Please feel free to tag me on our Tech But Solutions group chat. So if you guys would like access to this networking platform, please feel free to ask to join. The link gets provided for you down below. We're sitting a little bit over 8,100 members worldwide, and with this Facebook platform, we're a little bit over 4,000 members. So it's a very welcoming community, and I'd love to be a part of your success. So the simple links to our group chats are actually right here. And if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and let me know. We do have a series of YouTube channels, YouTube videos that can better assist you and get a better understanding on how to get into investing. So if you guys can subscribe and like this video, then we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you again so much for your time, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. Let's make sure that we end this week on a green note. Take care, guys. Baby, don't you let it go to waste. You know we could put 'em all to shame.